What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Ball Talk podcast. I'm your host, Braden Wheeler, along with Dustin Arnold and Cooper Caskey.
How's it going?
And it's playoff season. Really exciting month of football that we have on our hands.
This is exciting.
Month.
Very
There's
exciting.
The
so
very
many
first
teams.
year of the college football playoff, or not the 12-team college football playoff.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
format. I know fans have wanted this for years. Just something other than just 4 teams every year
Yeah.
to have a chance
sure.
to possibly win it. Gives your favorite team some cushion to lose probably 1 to 2 games.
It does.
Yes, because the teams slip up all the time, and it doesn't really depict how good or bad their season really is as far as, playoff caliber.
Yeah.
So how it works is whoever wins their conference gets a bye week.
Okay, so
So like
so in this format there are 5 conference champions, including the group of 5 contender. So basically how they do it is, so they still give their top 25 rankings, the college football playoff does. But so let's say like Clemson got in the college football playoff. They were 9-3, so they were ranked 16th. If they were based on the top 12 rankings, they wouldn't have been in, but since they won their conference championship, they get the 12th spot because they were the lowest ranked
Yeah.
conference champion.
Who do they beat out for this spot?
They
Bama?
beat Clemson. They won their conference championship. They beat SMU
Yeah.
by a last second field goal, a very last second field goal, and SMU would have had a bye if they would have won,
Yeah.
and Clemson wouldn't be in the field, and you can make the argument that Alabama would be in the field.
wait, I've got a question. How did Notre Dame get in through power ranking?
Yes, because
Since they're
they don't have a conference.
yeah.
They got in because they're 11-1. They only slipped up once, and that was to Northern Illinois
Yeah.
at home. That was that.
Okay.
But other than that, they've been pretty good all season. They deserve to be in. Really, a lot of Alabama fans were really mad that they didn't make the playoffs.
But
Yeah.
They didn't deserve it.
They didn't.
They did not.
None of the SEC teams that had 3 losses deserved it. And
I'll
the
say
the only
they
one.
definitely have talent, but I don't think they should have deserved it.
Now,
in the
see,
playoffs.
if we were going off of 12 best teams, Alabama would probably be in this. But see, here's the thing: they didn't deserve it. They lost games that they shouldn't have lost, and they put themselves in that position. They controlled their own destiny.
I
They
think
lost to Oklahoma.
I think what it comes down to is how you play against that opponent. You can't just say a team's good.
Yeah,
Because the Rams, I know it's the NFL, but the Rams beat the Bills the other day 44-42, and we couldn't even get a touchdown up yesterday.
yeah,
Yeah.
It was 12-6, I think.
right, yeah.
Like, that's insane.
But people they were saying they should be in over SMU, which is absolutely crazy because SMU they didn't lose a game in the conference the entire season except for the ACC championship. They were absolutely deserving of being in, and I'm happy that the playoff committee made that decision.
Yeah.
All right, so as the format goes, the 4 conference champions, the highest ranked conference champions got the bye. 1 is Oregon, best team in the country as so far, as they should. 2 is Georgia. They won against Texas. 3 is this is where we get really confusing as far as G5 contenders and stuff like that. Because normally the G5 would be the last conference champion in, considering they'd be the lowest ranked. But Boise State's had a really good year.
Yeah.
And with all the other conference, with the Big 12 and the ACC not having very good years, they get the 3 seed and they get a playoff bye.
Man, I love Boise State.
I can't get around them.
If they didn't have Ashton,
because Memphis competed with them to get into the Pac-12.
Yeah.
if
okay.
Ashton Genty wasn't on their team, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. But they do have Ashton
Very
Genty.
true.
That's what makes them a very dangerous team.
Yes.
Or
Then
Big
the-
12. I think it's Big 12, not Pac-12.
Yeah.
So yeah, Boise State out of the Mountain West Conference gets the 3 seed and the bye, and then Arizona State gets the 4 seed. Well, like Clemson, they're in the top 12 of the field.
If you'd asked me at the beginning of the year, Boise State and Arizona State being That's just insane to me.
See, yeah, my
Like,
team.
I used to love Arizona State, or I didn't love them, but I liked them because of Brady White.
Yeah, so Arizona State's an interesting story. They went 3-9 last year
What?
in the Pac-12, and of course, as you
That is
know,
absurd.
most of the Pac-12 disbanded and they went to different conferences. They went to the Big 12, which is a harder conference than the Pac-12, but they did good and for their first year in there, and their head coach did a really good job. And in a year when the Big 12 was down, they got in. So
Yeah.
props to them. My team played them earlier this year out in Tempe, Arizona. State lost by like 6 against them. I didn't think they were going to be a playoff team at that time because State was very bad this year. So, but then Arizona State ended up being really good in their conference. So they get the 4 spot.
Now, a name that's not on here. How is Nebraska looking with Dylan Raiola?
I think they got back to a bowl game this year. I know I can't remember. I think it's in between the 6-6 and 8-4 range. They're making progress. Of course, Matt Rule is the head coach at Nebraska now.
Where did he come from? Matt Rule
So
was the
Matt Rule,
Panthers.
He used to be the Panthers head coach,
Yeah.
but before that, he was, which was a weird hire. He was the Baylor head coach, and he did really good. And,
Was he Baylor head coach for RG3 or no?
I don't think so. I think he
That
was.
was what, 2013?
Yes.
No, 2012.
That was back when they had Art Briles. That was back when they had Art Briles as their head coach. So
What a name.
Bro, did you see Bill Belichick signing with North Carolina?
that's another crazy thing we got to talk about. Bill Belichick, arguably the greatest coach, or one of the greatest coaches,
Professional coaches.
professional coaches in NFL history, is going to college.
That is
Yeah.
crazy.
Going to college ball.
And
a
North
part
Carolina.
of it, yeah, well, part of it comes from they have a good lacrosse team.
Yeah,
He's a lacrosse guy, or a
yeah.
lacrosse guy.
yeah. So
Right.
Bill Belichick, but he grew up around a lot of North Carolina football. So he obviously had a choice to make there. I could have made the argument that if Ohio State really wanted to fire their coach, they could have made a run at Bill Belichick if they wanted to, but they still have their coach and they're in the playoffs. So yeah, basically how the rest of the field goes. 5 seed is the Texas Longhorns. They lost the SEC championship. 6 seed is the Penn State Nittany Lions. They lost the Big Ten championship, but they put up a really good fight against Oregon. They gave them a run for their money. 7 is Notre Dame coming in at 11-1. 10 is Indiana coming in at 11-1 as well out of the Big Ten. Where's the 11 seed at? 11 seed is SMU, rightfully so. 11-2, I think. And then the 12 seed is the ACC conference champion and Clemson coming in at 10-3. So we're gonna give our picks for these playoff games and how we think that they're gonna fare.
Yeah.
So the first game we're gonna go to is the 8-9 game, Ohio State at home versus Tennessee.
Man, as a Tennessee fan, I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
I think Tennessee got robbed. I think Tennessee should have got the 8 seed, and I think Ohio State should have got the 9 seed. That Ohio State had an awful loss to Michigan at home.
They sure did.
And I know that Tennessee lost to Arkansas this year, which wasn't that great, but they lost on the road. Playing on the road in the SEC is tough.
Yeah.
You lose to a Michigan team who has basically been non-existent the entire year at home in
Yeah.
embarrassing fashion.
Who is it?
That's
What's it? Alex Orchie? What's his name?
No, it wasn't even him. It was Davis Warren. And he threw 60 yards and had 2 picks, and they lost, or they won.
Dude. Well, okay. The hope I have here is I watched that Michigan game, the Michigan Ohio State game, and I can see Tennessee being a team that can do that to Ohio State.
I think
A few years ago, it was 2022, I think. Ohio State played Michigan, and we had a Michigan fan in the house, and we had a Ohio State fan in the house, and it was all just teenage guys. You know,
Yeah.
oldest one was probably 19,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh, it was so funny. They were screaming at each other's face every time one got a touchdown. They'd be lighting the other up. No, it was real fun.
That is funny.
Yeah, it's insane rivalry with Ohio State and Michigan. But my pick here in this game is Tennessee. I have Tennessee going on the road and getting the quote-unquote upset against Ohio State.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. It's definitely just bias.
I think Ohio State is pretty much dead inside, even though they're in the playoff because
Dead
they
inside.
lost. They're dead inside because they lost to Michigan, and that's gonna even if they win, that's gonna carry on them the rest of the year. That's
fair.
the one thing that they have is they have to beat Michigan, and they
Yeah.
didn't.
Who do you think the last two are gonna be? Last two standing
The last two.
for the championship.
My early picks are
Just the last two.
okay. So I think, this is interesting. I think
Y'all are gonna hate mine.
Texas can make a run. I think Oregon. I think on one side of the bracket it's either going to be Texas or Oregon, and the other side of the bracket I think it's either going to be Georgia or Penn State.
Really, I got Oregon or not Oregon, Oregon, Penn State.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I
That's just
could
what I
definitely
see, 'cause
Just
that.
hear me out.
You got Indiana playing Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's gonna win that. Georgia's gonna beat Notre Dame. Penn State's gonna beat SMU. Penn State's gonna beat Boise, and then Penn State's gonna beat Georgia. They're gonna have a choke game. That's what I'm calling.
Yeah,
Oregon wins it all.
Hear me out.
So yeah, moving quickly here. Yeah, so you said that Notre Dame was going to beat Indy.
Yeah,
I think Notre Dame's definitely going to beat Indy.
Yes. Yeah.
Penn
What-
State, I really feel like can beat SMU.
Six
I
of-
don't think
yeah.
it'll be close, or I think it will be close. I don't think it'll be a blowout or anything.
Hey,
Yes.
just because I want SMU to win, I'm picking SMU.
Yes, I would also love to see SMU win, but I think Penn State's been really good this year, and
Yeah.
especially since it's a home game in the playoffs. Night game at Penn State, by the way, whiteout. I think that's what it's going to be.
Yikes.
It's gonna be a tough challenge for
If
SMU.
that's at Penn State, you're over.
So
you're done.
I'm getting Penn State right there, and then Texas. I have them beating Clemson.
yeah, that's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's pretty much no brainer. And then as we move to the second round, I have Oregon versus Tennessee. I don't know about y'all, but I think Oregon will put up. I think Tennessee will put up a really good fight, but I think Oregon, the talent is just going to overshadow Tennessee, and I think Oregon's going to move to the next round.
I'm calling a last second blowout between
Yeah.
Oregon and Tennessee.
Yeah.
That's
Like
what I was
last
about to
second, like it's close the entire game. Fourth quarter comes, boom, touchdown, boom, touchdown.
I could definitely see that. So, in another game we have, and hypothetically, we all agreed on this. So, Texas versus Arizona State. I think Arizona State can make this really interesting.
I think so too. I think it'll be a shootout. Either that or a completely defensive game.
See, it's weird. Texas has these weird bipolar-ish games, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take Texas right here. I think the talent is just gonna overweigh Arizona State.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Texas with Arch Manning, or Texas with
Quinn Ewers.
Quinn Ewers.
I think it's gonna. Texas is gonna roll out with Quinn Ewers.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm saying like
I feel like they've had more success with Arch.
It's weird. I
you
don't
hear
know.
about more when
I'm
Arch
hearing.
is playing.
I've been
Yeah.
hearing rumors that since Quinn Ewers has another year left, he can enter the portal, and
It's not a bad idea.
yeah. Because their player, their
He needs to get out of
Arch-
there.
Arch is the future of Texas
Yeah,
football.
isn't he-
So
He's
as we
got a
go
good
to
chance.
as we go to Georgia, Notre Dame, I assume I'm gonna pick Georgia there. What about y'all? Georgia.
That's a tough one.
I got
think-
Georgia, Penn State. Penn State wins.
I think Georgia though.
Yeah. So I'm assuming we all think Penn State would beat Boise State.
But
It was a good run for the Broncos, but I'm gonna have to go with Boise or not Boise, Penn State there.
No, I'm going with Boise.
You're going Boise? Okay, I got you.
I'm going with Boise.
Okay, so as we move into the finals, we go Georgia, Boise State, or Georgia, Boise State, or Georgia, Penn State. Either way, I'm gonna have Georgia in the
Yeah,
championship
Georgia's
game.
gonna absolutely blow out.
Wait,
Well, if it's Boise State-
I think Penn State will beat Georgia. I personally believe
I can see that. I can see that happening.
because I think they're gonna have a choke game.
That happens to Georgia often.
It does.
Yeah.
It's happened often this year.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
can't think of their quarterback's name at the moment. Carson Beck. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna have a choke game.
So he's actually going to be out for the rest of the playoffs.
No.
I
oh,
think.
is he going to the draft?
Way.
Is
No,
he getting
he's
drafted?
hurt. He got injured in the championship game.
That is absurd.
And
Yeah,
their backup
honestly?
came. Then we had 3 points, and their backup came in Gunnar Stockton and did much better.
Really?
So yeah, he did much better than him. So
Well, that gives Penn State a little more hope, or should I say Boise State more hope?
yeah,
Boise State's gonna win.
definitely.
Oh,
As we go into the championship, we're gonna go to our championship picks. I have Oregon and I have Georgia, and I know Chalk basically holding here. I have Georgia winning, I have Oregon winning the national championship.
Yeah, I might have to agree with you there, honestly.
Oregon's just a really good team this year. Not sure what y'all's thoughts are, but that's what I think at least.
My finals prediction is a little goofy, but Oregon and
It could. I mean, college football's crazy this
Oregon and
year.
Boise State. I want to see Boise State in the finals and see how they react.
Maybe it's because there's like an undying hatred for Boise because I love Memphis so much.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I just hadn't seen too much success. They have had good seasons.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I don't know. I think the Cinderella story's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just imagine a playoff on the blue field.
I personally believe that Ashton G&T will do way better in the NFL. But I hope but I feel like the Cinderella story is going to be over. Everyone's going to forget that he had a Cinderella story, and he's just going to be a good back. You know what I mean?
We'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how this all unfolds. It's going to be a great month of football.